In the top left corner of Ephemeron, it's the blue Zerg, SortOf. And in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's Probe. Get ready for some ZVP, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, am I excited about this one. Ooh, can't even say the sentence. Probe, a strong Australian Protoss. And a friend of my teammate, Dragonite, another Australian Protoss. Holy bits! Alright. Oh my god, Revolt, thank you for the bits. I have browser sources off so they don't interrupt the cast, but my god, thank you. That's so many. Really appreciate it, my dude. Patch gas pool out of SortOf. Probe going for the standard Protoss expand with a wall off. Now, a lot of what we've been seeing with GM Zergs, especially from, you know, the European region, is just straight up aggression toward the mid game. Not wanting to take it into the late game, not wanting to get up into Broodlord, Infestor, or Viper, what have you. Just sticking to Roach Ravager and trying to crash into the Protoss 3rd or 4th, depending on the Droid count and the type of all-in. And ending the game there. We'll see if SortOf kind of sticks to that trend. Stargate opener from Probe, and that does, of course, mean that 2 Adepts will be hitting the field. And it does very likely mean that Probe is going to attempt to take a 3rd. Oh no, I'm being bribed to root for the Protoss. Probe is going to kill the Scouting Overlord, which, you know, yeah, it always kills me when the Phoenix kills the Scouting Overlord. Yeah, because sure, you killed it, but, you know, the Overlord still got the Scout off because it knows it was killed by a Phoenix, so it knows you want Stargate, and it knows you want Phoenix first as well. Wicked Gopher, neat username, and also thank you for the follow. Probe getting out a second Oracle. We might see some kind of attack where Probe, you know, gets a lift on the Queen with the Phoenix, and these two go to town on the drone line. I'll have to wait and see. Does look like that might be the case, though. Yeah, here he goes. 2 Queens move to intercept, though, and that's a little bit too much for these guys to deal with. Probe patrolling at his 3rd, but here's what I'm talking about. Ling's ready to pounce on this third location, 10 roaches being pumped out back at home, and sort of sitting on a 40 drone count. Well, less as these oracles crash in, snipe 4 of them, but you know, the idea is there, right? It's the thought that counts. Probe knows what's up. He knows what's happening, sort of pulling the queens and going pretty all in towards the start of Probe. There are some giveaways that, well, Alright, so Probe's just gonna abandon this third. Like, this third is pretty dead. Oh, it's sort of gonna leave. Okay, no. Probe canceled it. Corrosive Bile does, of course, knock down these force fields if sort of wants to. No, he's gonna bile down the pylon. He needs one more. There we go. Pylon going to unpower the shield batteries as well as the gateway as the Cybercore falls. That does, of course, mean no more Stalker. No more Sentry. Shield battery is repowered. One of them runs out of energy. Constant damage here from SortOf. Probe, like, kind of ineffectually tickling these Ravagers. Still some transfuse left on the Queens even. GG is called, and SortOf takes game number 1. In the top left, as our blue Zerg player, it's SortOf, and in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's Probe. SortOf taking the first game in this best of 3. Nightshade, the darkest map in the pool. Also quite a bit large. A little bit of a longer rush distance between the two bases. Probe dropping a forge back home. And we have a cannon rush on our hands. The Overlord does see this. SortOf sends out a drone. Could this be a proxy hatch? This is a high IQ proxy hatch, I guarantee it. He's gonna slide this drone in the wall and drop a hatch right in the natural. There we go, there we go. Probe needs to pull the probe and block it. He doesn't! There's the cancel from SortOf. Probe needs to drop a cannon here. Or pull 5 more probes or something. Okay, there's the Zealot. But even with 1 probe and a Zealot, this hatch will still finish. Look, Revolt, look, if you think about it, this is a macro play from SortOf, right? We have 3 bases on the field right now. The Protoss just shut down the Zerg third. Haha! And there's the Evo Chamber to get even more of a block off. Okay, so what happened there is when you cancel a hatchery, it leaves a very small amount of creep. It has to be almost frame perfect from the drone. You can drop an Evo Chamber right away and sort of getting even a little bit longer of a block on the Protoss Natural. However, Probe has shaded in the depth forward, and it's going to do terrible, terrible things to these drones. No, it's not, actually. It's totally not. It's going to get 2 of them. No, no, it's not even going to get 2 of them. Nice micro here from SortOf. Going to save the vast majority of the drones. Cannons have been cleaned up in the net. And SortOf's going to take a third. +1 started up here for Probe. Stargate finished up. He's going to go for double Oracle. But he needs to get pylons back down at home. Probe, please. You're supply blocked. You're so supply blocked. No kills on the Oracle yet. Did take a little bit of hull damage as well. It's going to have to wait for the shields to regen while the second Oracle moves across the map. Probe getting 2 drones, but you really want a lot more damage with these Oracles. Phoenix going to get the kill on the Overlord. This is going to supply block, sort of, for actually quite a bit. 2 Overlords in production just now. So that's going to cause the minerals to stack up here a little bit. Sort of going for a lair. SortOf's going to tap some links here at the Protoss third. This is really nicely timed. Oh, the links should just engage here. There's only 1 adept. They can get some, well... Okay, they're gonna derp into the Zealot and all get cut down, but Probe is trying to zone out these Oracles. That's where his main focus is. He gets a kill on one of the Oracles. Probe going for +2 weapons as well as charge. Oracle gonna make another play. See if we can pick off some drones. It might just actually cast Revelation. No, I was wrong on both counts. It's gonna drop a Stasis Ward. However, only catching 1 drone. And SortOf is massively ahead. Ton of army supply on the ground. A small worker lead. He needs to drop a 4th or all in here though. And I think he's going to go for the 3 base aggression with the option for a 4th. Alright, alright. Here's the play from SortOf. It's gonna be Swarm Hosts. In response, Probe gonna have Immortal Archon, as well as those +2 weapons. 15 Swarm Hosts on the docket. This is a huge committal from SortOf. No upgrades on the field for the Zerg, so these guys aren't going to be bolstered by missile attack or anything like that. This is just raw Swarm Host aggression. The Oracle saw the Swarm Hosts. Probe moved his screen over there. He should know about them. That's a lot of shield batteries. Gonna make these units pretty tanky. Okay, the Roach Ravager engages with the Locust Wave. No, 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 no. That's bad pathing on the Swarm Hosts. Okay, this was looking like a very good trade for SortOf, but he just lost 7 Swarm Hosts. Ah! SortOf takes out the Zealots. He did get a 4th base behind this, though, so he's gonna pull ahead of the Protoss in economy. That was so many dead Swarm Hosts, though. The thing about Swarm Hosts is they gain value over time, so unless you get like a very, very dank Locust Wave off, yeah, one Locust Wave is not enough to justify the cost of a Swarm Host. Yeah, so that entire Locust Wave just traded against the shields of the Protoss that was regened by the shield battery energy, right? And SortOf has to keep the Protoss pressured back at home while he waits for all the Swarm Hosts to get off cooldown. He is building a bank behind this. Probe moving very far into creep. There's no observer with this army, so he's not cleaning up the tumors behind him. This is very, very, very aggressive here from Probe. SortOf sneaks roaches into the natural, gonna pick off a half-dozen probes, and then spawn camp the mineral line, but that's a lot of bile connecting with the Archons. About half the shield's gone on them. SortOf coming in from multiple angles, trying to flank the Protoss here. Probe gonna back into the choke and engage there with the shield batteries. Bile, though, going to connect, since the Protoss is backed into a corner. I think this is enough here from SortOf. Probe looks like he has like an okay army here, but there's so much hull damage on a couple of these Immortals. One of the Archons totally without shields. Finally, a couple of these creep tumors get cleaned up, but SortOf has almost total map control. A lot of bile connecting with the Archons once again. Not enough to kill them, but gonna be without shields for a little bit of time. And the next Locust Wave is ready to go. This is going to do terrible, terrible, terrible things to the Protoss. Banelings connect with the charge lots. I don't know how Probe held that, but he did. He sure did. The Immortals came in from behind, took out a lot of the roaches. SortOf doesn't want to lose these high-value Ravagers. Although, I mean, he has 1,000 gas in the bank, but you still don't want to lose units for free. He's got to clear up the supply block. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to. He's still max, but it's always nice. Probe trying to take a fourth. You gotta commend Probe here. This is very, very, very difficult to defend against. It requires a lot of micro and a lot of positioning. Okay, the Locust Wave is gone. The Roach Ravager on its own can't really engage this army unless Bile connects. The Guardian Shells should be off cooldown very shortly as well. Oh, the Oracle gets picked off. Oh no! 2 Immortals go down to that tiny Locust Wave. I think Probe might have been caught out of position. In fact, he was, so he's going to recall to the Nat. Some of these Swarm Hosts will go down to get picked off by the Immortals, but the Locust Wave picks off an Archon, takes care of a lot of the Zealots. However, once again, Probe holds on the defense. In the meantime, a charge lot run by, getting 6 drones in the back end. That's going to pull SortOf back home. Give Probe a little bit of time to clear creep. He's going to back off before he gets caught out. And another Locust Wave ready to go from the Blue Zerg. Ten probes did go down during that attack, but I mean, Probe's still in this game. He's still alive. It's going to be very, very, very difficult to crack the Zerg at this point, but it is doable. So during these Locust Wave engagements, what's happening here is Probe is letting them proc the Guardian Shells on, take the shields off the Archons, micro the Archons back with the Warp Prism, proc the Guardian Shell on the Immortal, and then micro back the Immortals one at a time, like you saw just there. You should save this one as well. Okay, Bile's going to stop that from happening. One Archon goes down. Another Archon falls. The Ravagers have lost their Locust Shield. SortOf. Forced back on creep, but he's taking a 5th base behind this, and I don't know, Kev. Yeah. Oh no, it's a trap. The Locusts pick off. Okay, I thought they were gonna get 3 Immortals, but they get like 2 Immortals, 2 Archons. Probe is pretty all in here. He is so far deep on creep. He has to get damage done. It's gonna blast down a couple Overlords, but I mean, SortOf made spares. It's going to try to hold the ramp. This is just too much Zerg. SortOf gonna recall, but 3 Archons are abandoned. Power overwhelming. They explode into energy balls. Charge lots finding more luck at the 3rd. 15 drones in total going down, as well as those couple Overlords. Again, Overlords don't matter too much, as SortOf had spares. The big gain here for Probe is that he pulled the Zerg back to his side of the map, and it isn't eating Locust Waves to the face. Yeah, Probe cannot afford to be trapped. Another Zealot run by, crashes in, takes out 9 more drones. This is a nice pick. About 4 roaches go down for free. Yeah, he lets the other 3 get out. But SortOf is ready to go on the attack once again. There's no shield batteries to anchor this. Probe just forces the Locust Wave to launch as far away from the Nexus as he can. He can't afford to take that bile. Last Archon's falling. The Immortals getting overrun. And this is going to be GG as SortOf takes the series 2-0.